Jai Hind Sathiyon, welcome to Lax Legum Academy. In this video, we will discuss about Article 13. In last videos, we discussed about fundamental rights and their meaning, and what if there is conflict between fundamental rights and DPSP, which one would prevail. We deal with the controversy and the case laws that have been gone through. In this video, we are going to deal with only Article 13. Article 13 is very important because it ensures the paramountcy of the Constitution. And paramountcy of the Constitution means any law which is in contravention of the Constitution shall be void. And Article 13 specifically deals with the fundamental rights. Let's explore the essence of Article 13. Article 13 is also considered to be the teeth for the Constitution, that if any law is in contravention with the fundamental right shall be void, or which takes away the fundamental right shall be void to the extent of contravention. When we read Article 13, Article 13 starts with a marginal note that laws inconsistent with or in derogation of fundamental rights. So in Article 13, any law which is against the fundamental rights, and the word inconsistent means contradictory, which is against the fundamental rights, and the word derogation means which takes away the fundamental rights. So any law which is contradictory or takes away the fundamental right shall be void. Let's explore Article 13 clause 1. If you have your Bare Act, then you can write on your Bare Act that Article 13 clause 1 deals with pre-constitutional laws. Pre-constitutional laws. And pre-constitutional laws are those laws which was made before the commencement of the Constitution. And the commencement date of the Constitution is 26th January 1950. So any law which is made before the commencement of the Constitution, Article 13 clause 1 is dealing with that. What Article 13 clause 1 says that all laws in force, and all laws in force means any law which is defined under Article 13 clause 3 subclause B and Article 372. So any law in force means when we read Article 13 clause 3 subclause B, it says that any law made by competent authority, passed by any competent authority, that is a law in force. And when we read Article 372, it says that unless any law before the commencement of the Constitution declared void, repealed, it shall continue in force. तो ये बात करता है Article 372 continuation of the existing laws. For example, if you see Indian Penal Code is 1860. So how this law is prevailing in India? This is because of Article 372. Because Article 372 says that any law which is existing before the commencement of the Constitution, it shall be continued unless it is repealed by the law. In the same manner as Article 13 clause 3 subclause B defines. So all laws in force in the territory of India immediately before the commencement of the Constitution. So any law which is in existence before the commencement of the Constitution, in so far as they are inconsistent. So जहां तक वो inconsistent है, inconsistent means contradictory है, with the provision of part third to the extent of such inconsistency be void. So any pre-constitutional law, if it is inconsistent, contradictory with the fundamental right, shall be void. Either it is made by the competent authority or prevailing in that particular area in India. Next we see here Article 13 clause 2. And Article 13 clause 2 deals with post-constitutional law. And post-constitutional law means any law made after commencement of the Constitution, that is after 26 January 1950. So post-constitutional law here, the meaning of state as we discussed under Article 12. Article 12 states the definition of state, that it include the government of the central government, उसके executive and legislature, और state government, local authorities and other authorities. So any of the entity mentioned under Article 12 shall not make any law which takes away or abridges the rights conferred by this part, means part 3rd. So any right conferred by part 3rd, if any law made by the state is taking away or abridge means shorten without losing the sense, उनको शॉर्टन कर रहे हैं, उनको छोटे कर दे रहे हैं ये, तो पार्ट 3rd, एंड एनी लॉ मेड इन कॉन्ट्रवेंशन ऑफ दिस क्लॉज शैल टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ कॉन्ट्रवेंशन बी वॉइड. So Article 13 Clause 2 specifically deals with post-constitutional law, that if any law made by a state as defined under Article 12 is in contravention or takes away the fundamental right, that shall be void to the extent of contravention. Extent of contravention. This means that if the only one provision of the law is in contravention with the Constitution, part 3rd of the fundamental right, only that provision shall be void. तो यहां पर सिर्फ वो प्रोविजंस जो है void होंगे जो फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वायलेट करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इसके अंदर इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन देखते हैं हम, आर्टिकल 13 क्लोज 3 एंड द वर्ड यूज अंडर आर्टिकल 13 क्लोज 1 एंड क्लोज 2, एज यू हैव नोटिस्ड लॉ, दैट एनी लॉ or state shall not make any law. So what is the meaning of this word law? It is defined under article 13 clause 3. So meaning of law is given under this, and it says that law includes any ordinance. Ordinance means any ordinance promulgated under article 123 by president or under article 213 by governor. So any ordinance, order, bylaws means any law made by authority or a local self government, or rules, regulation, notification, customs or usage having the territory of India the force of law. तो कोई भी ऐसा लॉ जिसकी फोर्स है इंडिया के अंदर, कोई भी ऑर्डिनेंस हो, कोई ऑर्डर, बायलॉ, रूल, रेगुलेशन, नोटिफिकेशन, कस्टम, यूसेज हैविंग इन द टेरिटरी ऑफ इंडिया द फोर्स ऑफ लॉ, तो कोई भी लॉ जिसके पास फोर्स ऑफ लॉ है और वो एप्लीकेबल है, उन सबको हम लॉ मानेंगे. दैट मींस अगर इनमें से कोई भी एक चीज वायलेट करती है फंडामेंटल राइट को, तो वो चीज भी जो है वो वॉइड हो जाएगी. तो जो वर्ड इसके अंदर यूज किए गए हैं क्लोज 1 एंड क्लोज 2 में, वो दोनों इन चीजों को कवर करता है. और यहां पर एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज नोटिस करने वाली है कि ये क्लोज जो है वो कस्टम को भी कवर करती है. मीनिंग देयर बाय इफ एनी कस्टम मीन्स व्हाट, दैट हाउ द मैरिज शैल बी परफॉर्म्ड, हाउ डिवोर्स शैल बी गिवन, सच थिंग्स, पर्सनल मैटर्स. तो कस्टम से रिलेटेड अगर कोई पर्सनल मैटर है या कोई यूसेज है, बिजनेस से रिलेटेड ट्रांजैक्शन ऑफ बिजनेस, तो वो सब भी जो है वॉइड होंगे बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ आर्टिकल 13. Furthermore, if you see that in Shaira Bano versus Union of India 2017, the Supreme Court declared that the triple talaq that is prevailing under Muslim community is void, invalid or unconstitutional, meaning it is in contravention with the fundamental rights. So it was declared unconstitutional under Shaira Bano versus Union of India 2017. And for the implementation of these provisions, the Parliament enacted Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Act 2019. To give the effect to the judgment of Shaira Bano, the Parliament enacted this law, that if any person give triple talaq means uttering 3 words at a time to give immediate talaq, immediate divorce. Talaq means divorce. So this is how the word law is defined under article clause 3. Now the controversy, the question arises, if any law is made under article 368 What is given under Article 368 is amendment procedure and the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution. Amending power, or we can say constituent power. So if you find anywhere the word written constituent power, that would mean the power of Parliament under Article 368. And the Parliament has the power to amend any provision of the Constitution under Article 368. So now the question arises whether the word law as defined under Article 13 clause 3 would also include the amendment made under Article 368. So this question was first raised in Golaknath versus State of Punjab 1967, in which the 70th Amendment 1964 was challenged, which inserted certain state acts in 9th schedule. 9th schedule was inserted by First Amendment Act 1951. And whatever, if any law is put under 9th schedule, it is immune from judicial review, meaning thereby the judiciary has no power to check out the validity of the laws that was put under 9th schedule. So in this case, Supreme Court declared that Parliament cannot take away fundamental rights, meaning thereby the Parliament cannot make any law which violates the fundamental right. And second thing which was held in this case was a constitutional amendment. A constitutional amendment means the law made under Article 368 is also law under Article 13. So Article 13 में वो लॉ भी इंक्लूड होंगे जो Article 368 में बनाए जाते हैं. और इसी के बाद जो है 24th अमेंडमेंट पास कर दिया पार्लियामेंट ने. So Parliament enacted 24th Amendment 1971 and inserted two clauses, Article 13 clause 4 and Article 368 clause 3, which says that the Parliament has power. Now Parliament got power to abridge or take away any fundamental right under Article 368. So Parliament has got the power to amend the law made by Parliament under its competent authority, and such an act will not be law under the meaning of Article 13. So there are two things. First, that was added that Parliament has power to abridge or take away the fundamental right, and second thing, any act made under Article 368 would not be a law within the meaning of Article 13. So this is what happened in this case. After the 24th Amendment Act, the Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala case came into view in the year of 1973, and in the Supreme Court overruled its judgment in Golaknath case. Golaknath case में जो judgment pass की गई थी उसको overrule कर दिया, and the meaning of overrule means that whatever was decided, it is just opposite. Now the Supreme Court is giving the opposite view. And what would be that? That it upheld the validity of the 24th Amendment Act 1971. And in Keshwanand Bharati case, the Supreme Court declared that the 24th Amendment Act, which inserted clause 4 and clause 3 under Article 13 and 368 respectively, and also held that Parliament can take away fundamental rights. And in Keshwanand Bharati case, Supreme Court declared that the Parliament has power to amend any provision of the Constitution, including the fundamental rights given under Part 3rd, and also held that doctrine of basic structure, that even though Parliament has power to amend any provision of the Constitution, including the fundamental rights, but the Parliament shall not alter the basic structure of the Constitution. And what is basic structure is defined by Supreme Court in various judgments, including the secularism and so many things given under preamble and many more things. Next, the controversy arises when the Parliament enacted 42nd Amendment Act, 47th Amendment Act in the year of 1976. So after the Keshwanand Bharati case, this amendment came and it inserted two new clauses under Article 368, clause 4 and clause 5. So in this amendment, two new clauses were added under Article 368, clause 4 and clause 5. Clause 4 specifically deals with that any law made under Article 368 by using the constituent power that is non-justiciable, and non-justiciable means that shall not be questioned in court of law, meaning thereby the validity cannot be challenged in the court, यानी कोर्ट के अंदर जो है उसकी वैलिडिटी चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते. एंड सेकंड थिंग, क्लोज 5 states that the parliament has unrestricted constituent power, that it has unlimited power, it can take away or abridge any of the provision of the constitution. So this ensures that parliament has unlimited power, it can amend anything. And moreover, under clause 4 it is expressly mentioned that including part 3rd, if any changes made under part 3rd, that would also not be challenged in court. So this was challenged in Minerva Mill case versus Union of India 1980, and in this case these two clauses Supreme Court declared both clauses invalid. So clause 4 and clause 5 was declared to be unconstitutional because it is taking away the power of the court, that is judicial review. So now we have concluded that Article 13 specifically deals with that any law which is in contravention or which takes away or abridge the fundamental right is void to the extent of the contravention. And who will check it out? The power is given to the court, meaning thereby judiciary, to the power of court to check the constitutionality of the laws. Either they are pre-constitutional or post-constitutional, they shall be void. So अगर वो इनवैलिड हैं तो इस चीज को चेक करने की जो पावर है उसी को हम जुडिशियल रिव्यू कहते हैं. सो इस वीडियो के अंदर हमने यही समझा है कि हमारी जो फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं अगर उनको कोई वायलेट करता है, भले ही वो प्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ हो या पोस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ हो, वो उस एक्सटेंट तक वॉइड होंगे जिस एक्सटेंट तक वो कॉन्ट्रावेंशन में है. इफ यू लाइक द वीडियो, like it and share with your friends. Thank you.